Self is their whole thing is basically taking control of your credit score.
Welcome back, guys, to YBI, where we describe opinions and strategies on how to better your financial selves. It's been a minute, and my tongue isn't prepared for it. Roman, my guy, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm good, man. We're back. We're back to talk to you guys today about something that we came across a couple months ago, really, and it's called Self. This video is not sponsored by Self, but this is a comprehensive review of how it has worked. I personally had questions about it. Roman said that this is something that he's been doing, so I was like, why don't we just talk to our viewers about this? Is it good? Is it bad? What makes it good or what makes it bad? So all of the things that talk about self, we wanted to really talk to you guys about, see if it's a good way to actually build your credit, etc., and what that all looks like. So that is our topic for the day, which will be pretty good. Roman, this is pretty much your realm of expertise, so I'm gonna shut up and let you do what you do.
Shut up. All right, guys. So self is their whole thing is basically taking control of your credit score. Um, I will say this now. So it's pretty much definitely are targeted towards people who either have no credit score and they want to get started. In that, or you can also use it in the sense if you have very bad credit and you're trying to repair it, and kind of see if you can get a score boost in that way. So I saw the company. I don't even know. I think I've been maybe a few months to a year ago, and I was like, well, let me try it. Right when we first started this podcast, and let me see if I can actually grow with it or see how it works. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna review it, I need to try it too. And I looked at a couple other services like that, this as well, and it kind of has been the most stable of them all. So basically, how it works is you apply for a loan that is then held by their partners. I believe Self uses in Capital Bank. Yep, they go through Capital Bank, and your money is held there. Um, you pay off the loan, but the loan term between 12 and 24 months, so 1 to 2 years. And basically, how it works is every time you make a payment to that loan, or it's an auto payment, you build a payment history, and then you have an account on your credit, which those two things are supposed to raise it. If you don't have any credit score, you get an account, or if you have bad credit, you have a new account that has a good payment history on there, and your score starts to go up that way. At the end of the loan, you actually get some of that money back after you pay off the entire loan. After they take out their admin fees and the interest on the loan, then you end up getting that back. So really how it works is if you end up being on time, I would say you can see your credit score jump up about, since I've been using it, about 15 and 30 points just based off that. It really just kind of depends on your situation and where your credit was sitting at. So your loan terms can go from anywhere from, let's go scroll right down here, from $520 a loan to up to about $1,700 for the loan, and I'll go over the fees for that in a moment. But this is how they break it down: is basically saying like 35% of your credit score for especially your FICO is going to be 35% of it. So they're really trying to raise that portion of it. So that if you're making these payments on time every month, that's going to help your payment history. That's going to help your credit score go up. And having your length of this credit history for about at least 1 to 2 years for most average personal loans is kind of where it needs to be. Um, they
And if
do. I
you
do like
guys are having problems understanding what Roman's talking about when it comes to the different types of
credit.
credit, credit history, all of that stuff, we already did a video on talking about the different things of your credit score, what impacts it the most, etc. All that stuff we will link in the description below, so you guys can just go take a look at that. So we don't have to talk about anything that
Too.
detailed and
Yeah.
specific, but yeah.
But it's a cool little chart right there. And they're basically saying here that even if you do, like for some reason have to cancel your account or you just don't want to use the service anymore, you can like pull out the money at any moment. You just gotta wait for like the 5 to 7 days for wherever you at to have the money come back. But do realize that when you do that, you are closing an account, and if you close an account prematurely, that actually can hurt your credit. If you close it after only for using it for a month to 3 months, then you might end up seeing your credit score actually go down a little bit just because you cancel the account that quickly. Credit's weird like that. So the most important thing for people, I want people to kind of check out where it might be worth it for them, is seeing, where these monthly loans kind of start out and how much you can get, and then their fees and how much interest they are on them. So even looking at the base one for $520, they take out a $9 admin fee when you start, and then a 24 months term, so 2 years at a 15.92% interest rate. So that means all in all, after you end up actually going through this loan process and you do pay it off and you get the money back, you're going to be getting about $428, which means you're going to lose almost $100 just going through the entire service and going through the program. Why you're like, well, what's the point of doing that in a secured loan if you're going to lose money? Well, the whole point is that you built credit history. Now you build a payment history, and hopefully you got a credit score boost from this. It's really saying, if you got a boost of 30 points, that's going to be worth it for you. Or if you had no credit history to begin with, that you are now building it and you have an account. Which, if you get your first credit card, unless you have zero APR for the first year and you didn't pay any interest on it, nothing like that, you might be sitting around the same. Unless you did, you always pay off your card on time and everything like that, and then you never have to pay any interest. So I just want to show you guys what those fees actually look like and how it can break down for you. And you can do the math right there for any loan that you might want to choose and see if it's worth it for you. Now, what's interesting, what they don't show on the first part of the website, is they did actually start a credit card soon, or they did already. So as you kind of go through the loan process, you can actually take your secured amount on that loan and then use it as secured deposit on a credit card. And then you open up another account technically doing that. And then you have something else that you're building payment history on, because you kind of can double up on that. As you pay the loan, you also can build your credit limit and your credit history on the credit card as well. Doing that as well, I haven't seen like a big, huge impact right now on the credit score, because I just started that, I think, like a month ago. But that also could be an option as well. I could see them actually moving towards a more secure credit card in the future than even doing this loan, because secure credit cards are a lot quicker to build your actual payment history and score on than it is doing this loan process. So all in all, what I gotta say about Self is it can be worth it depending on the person. But I honestly say, if you're just trying to build credit history or payment history, a secure credit card or a simple starter credit card would probably be a lot easier than this, and probably a lot lower interest. Unless for some credit cards, you might have a 30% interest rate, but as long as you pay it off time every month, you will never pay that, and you keep that credit limit or credit utilization below 5%.
Yeah.
You get a $500
So,
credit card limit and you spend $20 on every month, you can pay that $20 off and easily build your credit score that way.
so pretty much Self looks like it's for people that have zero credit or people that have time to build credit. If you're not looking to do anything credit wise within the next couple of months, you have to understand that this is going to be a hard inquiry on your credit. Not only that, but it's going to be another account. So if you have too many accounts, again, you can look at the specific number of accounts. We talk about that in the credit video. But if you have a specific number of accounts already open, you don't want to get to that net. So let's say you already have 6 accounts that are open. If you get to the 7th one, it might drop your credit score. So you have to look at the big picture of how many credit cards do I already have, or how many accounts do I already show open on my account, because that will impact your credit score. How many things have you applied for credit within the last 2 years, because that can also drop your score. And then, like Roman said, the interest rates on this one can be a little bit higher. So if you get something like a secured credit card, it has the potential to raise your score without necessarily showing, like, hurting you as much as this possibly could. But I mean, obviously they have testimonials on here that are good. Somebody said that my credit score went from 4 to 710 in 9 months, which means that he had no credit. But that's the thing. If you had no credit, of course, the only way it's going to go is up. It's not going to go from 4 to 0 by opening an account. If you have nothing on there, the first thing that you will get is always going to raise your credit score a ridiculous amount. So it really just depends on the person. But when you're going through the reviews and stuff, when you're looking at, so don't just go by the reviews of the individuals that they have. Obviously, they're trying to make themselves look good. I mean, if they said it on the website, I'm sure it's true, because they have a pretty good accreditation on here. It's just that, my credit score isn't going to jump up 110 points from this, because I already have several accounts that are open. I already, make sure that my credit utilization is below a certain amount. So I'm already doing those things. So if you're doing things correctly, this isn't something that's going to allow your score to jump up 100 points.
Yep.
Could it be impactful? Could it be helpful? Yes. Does it take a long time? Yes. 2 years is kind of a long time when you're trying to do things and like look for this is not a quick fix. Let's say that it's not a quick fix.
What's cool is we even can, since we can go back, once my loan turn and see exactly what the entire whole process was, and even if it actually helped, like throughout the entire process, because this would be interesting to kind of see how it goes. If you already are in a situation where you're doing credit repair or you have hurt credit cards or bad accounts, I don't think you should actually jump into this. I think this is something you definitely do after you've already paid off those older debts. Like if you got cards and collections, you behind on whatever, pay those off before you try to open up any account and one that's going to take extra money out of your pocket as it is. Make sure you do that first. There's a similar company called MoneyLion that used to do something like this that was similar, where they would give a loan to someone either with low credit or rebuilding or new account holders, people trying to build like from zero credit scores. And I used to really like them, and then they completely changed the whole foundation of how they do their system. And I was going to review them on here, but I was like, you know what? Nope. These people have changed their whole system, and it's terrible. But looking at Self, I think it actually can, it can give you that boost. It definitely can. It really depends on your situation. If you already have like a 720 credit score, you don't need to do this. This is definitely, I want to say, for people who have no credit history, or you're kind of sitting around that 400 or to 600 range, and you just want to get like a boost somewhere, and you can't get a secure credit a secure credit card or any other type of like account. This is where you might want to go to figure out if you want to start building that payment history. And the good thing about it is it's not like a loan that you don't get any of the money back. At least you are eventually getting like some of that money back to you after you do the entire like loan term. So you can even look at it as like a savings account almost.
So you can do that, or you can get that secured credit card, which is pretty much doing the exact same thing. But you don't have the fee, and you don't have to wait a certain amount of time, and you have the ability to use that credit card as you may need it. You're pretty much buying credit. You're allowing them to hold that loan for you. You're paying on that loan, but you didn't get anything for it. So, with that secured credit card, if I needed to go buy something, I can swipe that card, pay that thing off, 0 interest, and still be building credit the exact same way. So it depends on your situation. So that's just something that you're going to have to take into account, and then weigh the benefits, the pros and cons of this, as you should do with anything. So any other comments on Self? Overall, would you say good or bad for you?
I say good. For what I've seen about other credit building websites or apps or such like that, this is definitely one of the better ones. Like I said, I tried MoneyLion. I used to be really good, and now it's pretty bad and will not pretty much do anything but try to sell you things. I'm trying to think there's really another one. Earnin and Dave. They don't necessarily hurt your credit unless you don't never actually pay the money back, but those were not really, I feel like, good ways to build credit or payment history. So this definitely at least gives you that option to somewhere open up an account, build your payment history, and start getting those things going. A good free one that we talked about in the credit video was Experian Boost, which is pretty easy because it's free to sign up and it's free to use Boost. And if you pay for your cell phone bill, that account now goes in your credit and it could boost your score up probably for one account, maybe like 5 to 9 points. But if you pay your utilities, you're paying for heat and internet and gas,
electric,
water, whatever, all those things, then you have 4 accounts right there that you already paying on. You're always paying on already. Your score is going to go up between 30 and 80 points or whatever they say on the website was. And I did it, and it gave me a boost as well. So that's free to use. You don't have to pay anybody to do that. So I think it's good. I think it's definitely, you look at your situation. If you already have accounts that are open and that are in debt, don't use it. If you already have a 700 credit score, you don't need to use it, and you go from there with it. But I do think the secured credit card is definitely a better way to go just to build up some payment history. But if you can't get a secured credit card, like for some reason your credit is just so bad you can't even apply for that, this would be somewhere you would go.
Or if you don't want to put up collateral,
Or if you
the
don't want to
five
put up
hundred
collateral.
dollars, whatever it is. This way, you
Yeah.
don't have to necessarily put up collateral. But again, all of the things that we've already discussed. So it's person by person, trial and error to see what's going to work best for your situation. But overall, I think that it's a positive system that it's got some benefits to it for sure. So if you can, wait 2 years. Here's the thing: if I had a child that I was trying to build credit for, I would do this. That's what I would do. If I had a child that was, I don't know, 16 and trying to build credit, and I was giving them money every month for whatever, and they had, $25 that they could put towards this, or if I split it in half, they pay half, I pay half, and we could build their credit. Absolutely, I would do it for sure. In a heartbeat. I would not give a 16-year-old a secured credit card and say, go buy something. No, that's not the move. But this way, they have the ability to learn about what it is that they can do to build their credit. You can help them understand what credit is. You can help them get a better credit score. They can watch it rise every month. And then by the time they get into their early 20s, they're going to have a credit score that's in the 780 to 800 range. Huge advantage. Huge advantage. So definitely something to look into if you're in the market for boosting your credit score, as everyone should be taking a look at that all the time. But I think it's going to wrap that up, which means that we need to move on to what is coming next. We just did a social media spotlight a couple weeks ago, last week, and we have another one coming. We have another social media spotlight, which means that we're going to be partnering with another individual that is in the social media world, that's doing something, that's an entrepreneur, all of these things. We will keep that name close to the chest for right now, but you guys will know soon enough who that is. But we do have a giveaway coming up. That's happening the next video, is that correct? All right, next video, y'all heard the man. We have another giveaway, which means that you guys need to look in the description below to see what it is that you need to do to get into this giveaway. We've given away money. I don't know how much it was. 3? Did we
Have we
do
done 3
3?
giveaways? 2.
I
Maybe
think we
we've done 2.
I think we did 2. This is going to be our 3rd or our 4th, because we don't know. We just be giving people money. But we're giving money away again, because we can. Because why not? Because we want to help you guys get better involved, with your credit and with your money, and we just want to help one of you guys out. So all of you guys that have been following us, liking, subscribing to the channel, following us, we really do appreciate it. It's just a way for us to give back to you guys as a community.
And
So
this is
that is
like
coming up.
this is what the second video we kind of touched on credit a little bit more. So since our last credit video, let us know, guys. What have you done to kind of take control of your control over your credit since our last video up until now? What strategies have you kind of looked into? What have you done? Has your credit score got any boost? If you have any questions, more questions about self, like I have been doing it now since June, so it's only been about 4 or 5 months, but I pretty much went through at least a good amount of the process. I did try out the credit card too. So if you guys have any more questions, just put them in the comments. Like,
I got a
share,
question.
subscribe. What?
Can you pay off that? Is there a prepayment penalty?
No.
Can I pay off the loan early?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's no penalty for that.
Mm-mm. And technically, when you pay off the loan, you're not really even making extra payments to it. You're just cashing out where you are. So let's say you do the initial loan, it's what, 500, 520. You get to 270. You're like, on to just cash it out now. They would just give you that 270. You don't have to like pay the other 500 because you're basically just paying yourself. So you just take that money out. So there's no
Gotcha.
penalty. If you ever hit a snag and you're like, I can't afford to pay this any month anymore, you could just take that money out. And actually, I guess at that moment, you get the $200 in your pocket that you didn't have before. So in that sense, it's like, all right, I get that money back. So it's no penalty to pay out early. Only penalty I see would be for your credit, for closing an account earlier than like a year or 2.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard the man. Do stuff. with
Do
your
stuff.
credit. Yeah.
Do the
Say
things.
word. Yes, check out the description below for all of the reasons as to why you or how to get involved with our next giveaway. Like, share, subscribe, comments, etc., everything else that we do. Y'all know what time it is. We may be young and we may even be broke, but we are always investing. Always investing. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back
Register
soon.
to vote.
Oh yes, most definitely register to vote because that is coming up soon. All right, guys. Till next time.
Peace.
For listening to Young Broken Investing, we just want to let you know that these are the opinions of the hosts, are not meant to be the basis of any security purchases or investments. We're trying to give a little information out there for everybody and have fun and be safe.